O was in her backyard, outside, playing. She was counting the bees and the butterflies and the ladybugs. So far, she had counted 3 bees, honeybees. She had counted 5 butterflies, and she had counted none of the ladybugs. She really liked ladybugs, and it was so fun anyway to be outside in the sun counting bugs and bees, and she even looked around for birds when suddenly a great shade fell on the girl. And O said, "Well, that's funny. There was no clouds in the sky before. What's going on?" And she looked up, and there, standing, wearing shorts, was Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan was his day off, and he was wearing shorts. He was dressed in casual clothes. Paul Bunyan said, "Hello, O. Are you mad at me?" And O said, "Why should I be mad at you, Paul Bunyan? You're the most wonderful giant I know." And Paul Bunyan laughed and said, "I think I'm the only giant you know. But anyway, it was your birthday, I think, yesterday, and I had to work, and I couldn't come to your birthday party." "Oh," said, "Oh, that's okay, Paul Bunyan. I'm really glad to see you. Anyway, we have some cake left over. Do you want some cake?" And he said, "Oh, I love cake, especially on my days off." And so ran up the steps. She went in the kitchen. She grabbed half the cake, because that's all that was left from the birthday party the day before. She ran back down the steps. She took off a little piece for herself, and she gave Paul Bunyan the rest of the cake. He picked it up in his fingers and tossed it into his mouth. "Oh," he said, "it was so good. Oh, that's the best cake I ever had in my whole life." And then noticed that Paul Bunyan had a rope in one of his hands, and the rope went around where the bush, this big bush was that had white flowers on it. In the other side, or the end of the rope, she couldn't really see what was there because it was behind the bush. And she said, "Paul Bunyan, what's on that rope?" And Paul Bunyan said, "Oh, it is a present for you. I brought you something. I got you something for your birthday." And jumped straight up in the air. She squealed with delight. She was so happy. "What is it? What is it? What is it?" She wanted to know what it was. And Paul Bunyan said, "Honey, you'll just have to wait a second." And then he called out in a big voice, "Hello to O's mom. Hello to O's dad." Well, they heard the racket at first inside the house. They thought it was thunder. And they came out on the high deck there, up the steps, and they said, "Oh, it's Paul Bunyan. Hello, hello." And everybody said hello to everybody. And then they said, "Paul Bunyan, what do you have at the end of the rope?" And O said, "It's a present for me. It's a present for me." And everybody laughed, even Paul Bunyan. Ho, 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 ho. He laughed. And the girl said, O said, "Well, when do I get to see my present?" And Paul Bunyan said, "Right now." And he went like that, and he gave a little tug on the rope, and a pony came prancing out behind the bush that had the white flowers. And couldn't believe it. She wanted a pony so bad for such a long time. And her mom and dad had said, "Well, we'd love for you to have a pony, but we don't have a barn, and we really don't have enough room for big animals like ponies." And she tried to explain that ponies weren't very big, but the bottom line was she didn't get to have a pony. And here, suddenly, she had one, and she was so happy. And she ran over, and she saw that the pony had reins, straps that you could hold on to steer it, kind of. And it had a saddle, and she said, "Paul Bunyan, can I get on the pony?" And he said, "Yeah, why don't you lead it over to where that rock is, get up on the rock and get on the pony." So she did that. She climbed up on the rock, and she got the pony. She had the reins in one hand, and she pulled the pony a little closer to her, and she jumped on the pony's back, and she was so happy. And she was riding around the garden, and her mom and dad were laughing and pointing, and her dad went into the kitchen and got his camera, and he was videoing her as she went up and down the driveway. And even the neighbors came over and said, look at that. It's a day after her birthday and she's still getting presents. And everybody laughed and Paul Bunyan, whoa, ho, ho, ho. And then finally the mom said, well, wait a minute. We're glad, Paul Bunyan, that you've given our daughter this wonderful gift. And oh, we're glad that you're getting the gift. But the dad sort of knew what the mom was going to say. And so he joined in and he said, but honey, you still can't have a pony. We have no place to keep it. And O had been having so much fun riding that pony, and she had in her mind that she was going to get to ride it every day, and now suddenly she was hearing the bad news. And she looked up, way up, at the giant, at Paul Bunyan, and she said, Paul Bunyan, I guess I can't keep the pony because we don't have room for it. And Paul Bunyan, Paul Bunyan is so big and so tall. He laughed, and everybody looked at him like maybe Paul Bunyan wasn't as nice a person as we thought, because he's laughing at a little girl that wants to have a pony and can't have a pony. But he laughed anyway, and finally he said, oh, do you believe in magic? And O said, yeah, of course. And he said, well, when it comes time to put your pony away, all you have to do is clap your hands 3 times very slowly. Clap, 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 and then 2 quick claps. Clap, clap. And O said, she had to think about it for a second. She said, you mean, and she said, okay, I think I understand. And she wanted to try it. She wanted to show her mom and dad that she could put the pony away, that is, make it disappear anytime she wanted to, anytime they wanted to. Maybe she would never have it disappear. So she clapped, clap, 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 and the pony disappeared. The saddle was still there, and the reins were still there, but the pony was gone. And the mom and dad said, whoa, that's good. That's real magic. And Officer Joe laughed, and O was really happy. She was very happy. She was so happy that she started... O was so happy that she started crying. And her dad said, oh, what's the matter? And her mom said, honey, why are you crying? And O said, my pony's gone. I made him disappear. I didn't want him to disappear. Now he's gone and I'll never see him again. Paul Bunyan did what he did before. Paul Bunyan loved to laugh. And everybody in the neighborhood that had come to watch kind of got the idea, but maybe there was going to be a happy ending. So they laughed too. The mom and dad even smiled. O stamped her foot, and she said, there's nothing funny about having a pony and having it disappear and never seeing it again. And Paul Bunyan said, oh, if you want to see the pony, if you want the pony to come back, if you want the pony to appear, all you have to do, if you want to ride it again, is clap your hands, clap, clap, 2 quick ones, and then 3 slow ones. It's the reverse of the way you did it before. O thought about it. She tried to remember. She said, okay, clap, 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 boom. There was the pony again. She was so happy. Oh, she almost started crying again. She was so happy. She jumped on the pony's back without even using the rock this time. She just sprang up there, and she was on the pony, and she was riding around in circles, and everybody was laughing. And her mom took the camera, and she now was videoing, and right when she was videoing, a butterfly landed right on O's nose, and everybody laughed. The whole neighborhood was laughing. Paul Bunyan was laughing. Even the horse was winnowing, and the dad came down the steps with some carrots. He gave the carrots to O, and O got off, and she fed the pony the carrots. Paul Bunyan waved and said, I gotta go. Happy birthday, O. Happy, I'm glad you're 4 years old. And O went over and jumped up on the shoes, the walking shoes of Paul Bunyan, and hugged him on the ankle. And he walked away wearing his shorts, very comfortable because he wasn't working. And O went over. She was getting sort of tired, so she clapped 3 claps. 1 clap, 2 claps, 3 claps, and then 2 quick ones. Clap, clap, and the pony disappeared. She did it the other way really quick because she was sort of worried that maybe the pony wouldn't come back and maybe the magic wouldn't work if Paul Bunyan wasn't there. So she went clap, 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 and the pony appeared again. And O was so delighted. So she did the claps to make it disappear. She walked up the steps because she's so tired. And she was going to explain to her mom and dad about all of her adventures that day, even though they had been there and they had seen most of them themselves. But she was too tired, and she went in, she sat down on the couch for just a minute and kind of laid over on her side for just a second. And O fell asleep on the day after her birthday when she got this wonderful present from Paul Bunyan. The end. Cheers.